What is going on, everyone? Chris with Journals, Comics, and Pop Culture, and we are here again with another top 10 video series. This is going to be a two-part series counting down the top 10 comics to invest in before the Multiverse of Madness. I am so hyped for this film. I know a lot of you are as well. The first video that we're doing today is going to count down 10 through 6, and this is how we're going to count them down. We are going to look at current fair market value of these books, and we're going to compare them to the fair market value from 5 years ago. And the books that have been the hottest on the market are going to be the lowest on the list. So as we count down, these books are going to be getting hotter and hotter and hotter. Before we get into the books, of course, if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please take some time to do so and check out all the awesome links below, including how you can become a member of the channel, either via patreon.com or via YouTube itself by clicking that join button. You can also check the link to my official Journals Comics merch, and you can also find the link to our comic book canon YouTube, where we have our live shows every Friday. Please, guys, go sub us up over there if you aren't yet. You're missing out on some awesome weekly goodness. All right, I want to give a big shout out to my current members via YouTube and Patreon. I will be giving you guys a shout out at the end of the video. And one last thing, before we get into the books, I got to give a big shout out to none other than A1 Comics, because it is A1 Wednesday, just like it is every single week. So here's the thing. All of A1 links are below as well, including their link to their IG page, where they have live sales every Wednesday and Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. They're also live on Twitch every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific. Guys, if you haven't checked out some of their IG live sales, you're absolutely missing out. I picked up some good stack of books last week. I still haven't picked them up. I got to drive out to the store. Also, just a friendly reminder that if you're in the Sacramento area and you're selling, A1 is always buying, whether it's comics, Pokemons, magic, trade paperbacks, pulps, toys, statues, original art, and more. There is the information below. If you're selling comics, you can contact Landvin. That's his email. For cards, you can contact Christian. There's the email, and there's the phone number, and of course the website, a-1comics.com. All right, who's ready for these books? Who is ready for these books? Let's get in to number 10 on the list, and that is Avengers, number 503. All right, folks, this is the death of Agatha Harkness. Yeah, spoiler alert. Here we go. This also is the introduction of chaos magic, which inevitably leads to the House of M. So, how do I base these books? First off, if you guys don't know, I do like to focus on books that are different than what everyone else is talking about in the obvious books, right? Like I could talk about Strange Tales 110, the first appearance of Doctor Strange. That's already a multi-$1,000 book, but come on, let's talk about some books that are, decently affordable and that also have great growth potential. And that, if you put the pieces together, they're fun spec books, because a lot of these things can possibly happen in the MCU, and in this case, pertaining to the Multiverse of Madness. So, we know what Agatha Harkness has done after showing up in WandaVision, and we know what's going on with Scarlet Witch, which bringing her into the chaos magic as we've seen in WandaVision, and who knows? We got mutants coming. Who knows if we might see a House of M sometime down the road in the MCU. All right, so a little something with this book. There is no current fair market value of CGCs, not even from 5 years ago, on the market. All right, I do believe this is the only book that has something like this, but here's the thing. An average raw for this book is still only $6. High raw sold for $20. It's still a very affordable book. And again, when you talk about affordable books, if you can find these in the back issue bins for a few dollars, there's not a lot of risk involved. And as I always say, I'm not here to tell you all what to buy. Buy and invest in what makes you happy. Just do your due diligence, do your research. If you have love for the books and love for the characters, hey, why not? I am simply here to give you some data, to give you some facts, and to also sprinkle in my own personal opinions. All right, so real fun book right here. Again, look through your back issue bins. If you can find them for the cheap, hey, why not? We're going to move on to number 9. This is Doctor Strange, Volume 2, number 60. All right, what happens in this book? Wanda, Monica, Doctor Strange battle Dracula for the Darkhold, which leads into the connection of vampires to the Darkhold. All right, so a lot of stuff going on here that we're already kind of seeing come about in the MCU. Obviously, Wanda and Monica and their connection to Doctor Strange. Kevin Feige already confirmed that Doctor Strange was supposed to make a cameo at the end of WandaVision, but they saved that. So we know he's coming in and playing a role. Monica was there trying to help Wanda. We also saw the Darkhold. The Darkhold is involved. And guess what we know is coming to the MCU too? Vampires. Vampires. Yes, that's all I need to say. So that's why this is the awesome spec book to put on this list. Let's look at these numbers. Now, current 9.8 CGC fair market value sitting at about $89. Now, I couldn't find anything from 5 years ago, 2016, but I did find an early sale in 2019 for $56. So we can still look at that, over the last couple of years. That is a 59% increase still over the last couple of years. So pretty solid. Average draw for this book, going for about $11. I found one on mycomicshop.com about 2 months ago for maybe like $6, $5 or $6. It wasn't like near mint or anything. But you guys know, if you watch my videos, average raw really is an average of all raw books sold. It's not pertaining to a specific grade. So I always say you could find most likely some grade of this book around that $11 mark. A high raw, though, sold for $33. So, again, I do believe this book is definitely picking up some steam, and not just because I'm talking about it. There's already been some steam behind it because of what's going on. So, we shall see. Hey, if the Darkhold in the MCU leads to the connection to two vampires and bringing in Blade, this book can absolutely do some business. All right, we are going to book number 8. That's another Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme, issue number 44. This is the first appearance of the Sidorak. Now, this is, for those that don't know, the gem that powers Juggernaut's helmet and gives him basically his powers. This is maybe a stretch in terms of talking about the multiverse of madness, but we don't know how mutants are going to be introduced into the MCU as of yet. We know they're coming. With the cosmic element of the Sidorak and, playing a role with Doctor Strange there as well, hey, it can be possible that we see Juggernaut and basically the mythos behind the Sidorak happening, but that might come, sometime later down the line. But look, this is a nice little early 90s decent spec already. Current CGC 9.8 fair market value, though, is still sitting at $66. That's extremely affordable. Again, no sales data from 5 years ago, but look at this. Two years ago, $38. That shows you that this book has been getting hot over the last couple of years. That's a 74% increase in value. All right, average raw sitting around $10. High raw, $17. So again, still a very, very affordable book. All right, moving on to number 7. We got Doctor Strange, number 170. All right. Why is this book on the list? Well, this is the first cover appearance of Nightmare. It's the second solo issue of Doctor Strange. But if you are priced out of the first appearance of Nightmare, this is a solid book to get. I do believe it's his 4th overall appearance, but that first cover appearance is really, really awesome in my humble opinion. We do, as collectors, value first cover appearances, of course, even if it's a 4th total appearance of the character. So again, if Nightmare shows up, this is a good middle ground book to, like I said, where if you're priced out of his first appearance, this one is still decently affordable. Look at this. A current 9.4 CGC fair market value is sitting at about $228. Not too shabby. 5 years ago, it was sitting at $131. That's a 74% increase. All right. Average raw sitting at about $39. For a late 60s book, decent mid-grade around that $39 mark. High raw, $125 sale. So again, for how old the book is, decently affordable. And I do believe that regardless, this book has long-term return on investment ability. And also, I think it's inevitable that we're going to see Nightmare at some point in time. All right, guys, this is going to be the last book on today's list before we do the second part of this series, counting down 5 through 1. So coming in at number 6 is Strange Tales 150. You guys know I love my Strange Tales stuff. This is the first appearance of Umar, sister of Dormammu. So Dormammu has already been there. showed his face, and why not bring in Umar at least at some point? Again, we're looking at what can happen in the multiverse of madness, and we know that the possibilities are endless. But this is something that's just carried deep into the mythos in the storylines of Doctor Strange. A great character to speculate on. And look, it's an amazing Silver Age book already. And I've been saying this for over 2 years. The Strange Tale run has been heavily undervalued, and you could see over the last year these books starting to pick up steam. I mean, let's look at these numbers. Current 9.4 CGC fair market value sitting at $456 about. 5 years ago, $184. It's a 148% increase in value. That is solid. All right, average raw, $37. Again, maybe a lower mid grade, somewhere around maybe a 4 to a 5.0. That's a guess. That's a guess. High raw, $150. So again, decently affordable for a Silver Age book. I do believe this character can show up and be done well in the MCU. So many endless possibilities when it comes to Doctor Strange and this multiverse of mysticism that we are going to be seeing in the near future. So that's the 5 books for today, everyone. Let me know what you all thought of these picks. Let me know how many you guys have. Maybe you're on the hunt for some. Let me know if you thought there should be some other books that you didn't see on this list. Maybe they're going to be coming up in 5 through 1. All right, before we go, again, I got to give a big shout out to all my Patreon members for the continued support month after month. If you guys are interested in becoming a Patreon member of the channel, that link is below. It is only $3.99 a month. You guys get extra perks, and you also help support the channel. Every dollar that I earn goes back into the channel in some form or fashion. So a big shout out to X11 Bravo, Shelby, Asher, The World's Enemy, Timothy, Ramseyverse Comics, Kenneth, Rich, Tony, Marty, Larry, Serge, Michelle, Jacob, Tyler, Keith, Jeremy, Michael, Jeff, Tricky Clicky, Philly Born, Alvin, Fletch, Joshua, Pedro, Peter, Joji, Larissa, Sagi, Dan, Beechner, and Simon. It's becoming a mouthful. I thank you all so much. And of course, to my YouTube channel members, you can click that join button below. That's only $1.99 a month. Big shout out to each and every one of you. Billy, Kevin, Locksmith Comics, Primetime, X11, Rick Curtis, Michael, Jimmy G, Goonish Lurker, Josh, Louis Logics, Arthur, Comic Toby, Charlie, Luis, Peter, Blackout, Beamoy, Tony, and Chris. Thank you all so much. Again, thank you for being here month after month. And to all my viewers, again, leave your thoughts below. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Be well, and until next time.